Good morning, it's Bishop Walsh here, Wednesday, June 14th, and I come to you from sunny and humid Florida. I'm here for the USCCB meeting that begins today and goes through Friday. I had breakfast this morning with Bishop Raica, and he sends his fond regards to everyone back in the Diocese of Gaylord. And he's doing very well. Looking forward to spending the time with the different bishops here and discussing the important matters of the life of the church. So as I flew down here yesterday, it was kind of a long day of travel, but I stopped in Atlanta. That was my first time being in Atlanta, and we had a little bit of a delay there. Got in at midnight, but thank God all things went smoothly for the air travel, and now we're just going to settle in here for a few days of work and fraternity, and looking forward then to getting back to the diocese. I'll be at Immaculate Conception this weekend in Traverse City, looking forward to celebrating masses with the community there. So a couple of random things to share with you. That one of the efforts that we're going to be putting towards vocations is the new program called Quo Vadis, means where are you going? It's taken from the sacred scriptures of the Lord asking, where are you going? And we want to help our young men in our Diocese of Gaylord to know that possibly God is calling them to follow him as a priest. And we are going towards him in the experience of giving our lives to him as his priests. And we want to nurture that vocation in the lives of our young men. So this Quo Vadis is an experience, it's a nationwide program that allows young men to get together, form relationships, have leisure time together, and also have opportunities to talk to other young men, our seminarians and priests, and I'll spend a little time with them just to kind of get them familiar with the life of a priest and sow the seeds and encourage them and affirm them. So please do your best to affirm our young men and their consideration of the holy priesthood. Also, an update on our Catholic Services appeal. I think we're at about 2.2 million, and many of the gifts have come forward, and even a few parishes have reached their goal already. So thank you for all the efforts that are going into promoting our source and summit theme of the campaign this year, because it's tying into the Eucharistic revival. And that's something that we should always keep at the center of our thoughts and prayers, of how the Eucharist keeps us oriented toward the Lord. And then all the programs, activities, and life of the church revolve around that, being fed by the Lord and then being sent out. As we just celebrated the Feast of Corpus Christi, many of parishes had our Eucharistic processions. And again, just that focus on how the Lord is leading us. So thanks again to all the efforts for our Catholic Services appeal. This month of June is a time to reflect on the Sacred Heart of Jesus. I found it very helpful to consider how the Lord in his Sacred Heart, filled with love and mercy, draws us to him. And despite all of the other difficulties and the hardships, the darkness that's in our world, our sinfulness, our weakness, all of that is taken up into that Sacred Heart, and that love that he has for humanity, the sharing of God's very life with us through his love, is something that we should never forget. I know it helps bring me back to life many times when things seem very difficult, and we remember what is at the core of our life of discipleship and all of that we do to try to imitate the life of Jesus, is to have the same heart. And if we possess that heart, then it'll manifest itself in the way we live. So it's interesting that with the cultural problems that we have, I know that one of the things that is in God's providence, we've all heard about how the Los Angeles Dodgers are going to be honoring anti-Catholic group. And it seems like that's a broader sense of what's happening in our culture, that not only not being discouraged, but they're being celebrated. But that day is actually going to be on the Feast of the Sacred Heart. So we have to let the love of the Lord overcome all of those other negative obstacles that we face in our culture. Yes, we should be angry. Yes, we should be upset about those things. But ultimately, we have to let the love that a disciple of Jesus manifests to be what will turn people's minds and hearts back to the truth and the true fullness of God. So that's a brief reflection for today. There's a lot of other things to consider, but I'm past my 5-minute mark and have to get into some meetings. And I just wish everyone well for this week, and I'm looking forward to getting back to northern Michigan after a time here in Florida. God bless you all.